Good morning. Welcome to the Good Stuff Family Podcast. Today's Friday morning. So we start with the best part of waking up is waking up. And we celebrate people like who you saw right there. Kim Emmons Knor. She's a bit of a staple here. We can't get enough of her. Good morning, Pastor Charles Eduardos and Rich Smith joining me as always. Good morning, sunshines.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dawn.
A little bit different video there. Now we see all of these women coming around her. So in the previous ones we've done, we've spoken about how she's on track to do 1,000 skydives at 86 years young. Kim Emmons Knor. We love her. I know Pastor Charles particularly does.
What an amazing woman. Holy smokes. Like I was saying, a woman that I can look up to. Here she comes.
The best. She's the best, and she inspires me so much. My face hurts by the end of talking to her from just smiling and laughing, at the end of every conversation. So this past week, as we've been following her now, she's up to, are you ready? Well, let's just bring her in, Rich. Let's bring her in right now. She can tell us how many jumps she's up to. Good morning, sunshine.
Good morning.
I love that you're joined today by Jeannie Bartholomew, who is half your age and every bit as much of a dynamo and such a you're a big fan of Kim's as well, aren't you, Jeannie?
Huge fan. She's very inspiring.
And you are. I couldn't even believe when you sent your bio, I couldn't even pull it all over. I would need 6 pieces of paper to print it out of the things that you've done. So just super cool, isn't it, Rich and Pastor Charles, to have them here this morning?
Oh, absolutely.
Inspired.
Yes. So, Kim, I feel like I'm going to give the drum roll and you tell us how many jumps you're up to now on your way to 1,000 times of jumping out of a plane. Here comes the drum roll. Ready?
Ta-da! 836. Been working on it.
136. Everybody listening, just let that settle in. That's how many times 86-year-old young Kim Emmons Knor in her lifetime has jumped, skydived out of a plane. And it started, 1950, your first jump?
59.
And you ended up with your team of women, girl power women, getting a gold. Tell us about that.
Oh, yeah. That was when I started, there were men. And I was just one of the guys for about 2.5 years. And then we found some girls to jump. Yeah, this is one of my really cool guys. And we found some girls to jump, and we got a team together. So we were in the first U.S. women's team to represent the United States in the World Championships. And that was in 1962.
1962. You are a living legend.
Yep. I was 23 years old at that point, and we went against 19 countries and we won the gold.
Wow.
Amazing. And I know this is one of the many reasons that Jeannie admires you so much, right, Jeannie?
Absolutely. It's so inspiring and so cool, even just being in Kim's presence. And she's got so many stories. It's amazing. I absolutely adore her.
She's a pioneer, but as are you, a trailblazer. So I'm going to put for starters, international champion skydiver is what you are. But let me pull up some pictures of you too, Jeannie, so we know what a blessing we have to have you as a guest this morning, and give us kind of a window into, and you don't have to be humble. I know you both are, but we really want to know, like, all of the things that you've done. Here you are with your husband and lots of gold medals. Start me there. Like, what are the things that keep you so driven to keep getting all of these awards?
I absolutely love skydiving, and I love canopy piloting, which is the discipline that I'm in specifically. We fly really small parachutes and we dive them at the ground going 100 miles an hour. And then we pull the parachute out of the dive and navigate through courses across water. And my husband is actually the greatest canopy pilot in the history of our sport. And it's a pleasure to compete with him and against him. Females compete against the males in our discipline. So kind of at a little bit of a disadvantage being lighter than the guys. The more you weigh, the faster you're going to go and the further you're going to go. So when I compete, I have to wear a 35-pound weight belt to kind of keep up with the boys. but it's also really cool being able to win medals together. So my husband and I have won many medals together as a team. We compete in a team event against other countries as well, kind of like what Kim was saying. So we've won multiple gold medals at world championships as well, which is also why it's so cool to be with Kim, because there's not very many females, you know, in different generations. One brought home the gold medal for the United States. So I think that's a pretty cool, you know, thing for both of us. But yeah, travel the world competing and teaching people to fly parachutes. And it's just a really fun, adrenaline-filled lifestyle.
And just to be clear, Rich, how many times have you jumped out of a plane?
I've got a little catching up to do. That would be 0.
Okay, well, Kim started at 0 in the 50s. There's still hope.
Yeah.
Pastor, how many times have you jumped out of a plane?
Not a plane, but a helicopter a few times.
Okay, all right. There you go.
No, just deploying low, coming in low and jumping out in the water. But wow.
But was it anything like this? Did you look like that?
Oh, no. I feel like next to Kim, and I just feel like a wimp.
No, now, Kim, that's not the point, is it? Like, tell me why. This has everything to do, not everything, it has a lot to do with your personal goal. You are convinced that the mind can keep us young. So there's that component. But it's also what are you hoping to, by your actions, to inspire other, not just women, but men to say, I'll have what Kim Emmons Knor is having?
Ooh, the greatest thing I can think of, you have to decide that you're young and that you have a healthy body and that you can get out there and do things that are fun. The biggest thing is stay positive. You know, just take a positive attitude towards everything. You know, God's in charge, actually, and he put us here for a reason. So we just have to find the purpose that he has for us. And mine has been multiple purposes throughout my life. So I've been in and out of the sport many times, but it's always been exciting. I look back and see some of the things I decided to do weren't really quite what he had for me. So anyway, that's what helped me through everything, is just stay positive and just think about all the exciting things you can do.
That will preach, right, Pastor Charles?
Oh, absolutely. Staying positive, infinite possibilities. And live life to the fullest, you know. Even St. Paul tells us, think on the good things, think on the positive stuff. Stay mobile, agile, and hostile.
That's correct. Absolutely. Yeah, and we have a saying that we do in sport parachuting is live in the moment.
Yes.
Because if you're out there jumping out of a plane, you have to be in the moment. You can't worry about yesterday or tomorrow or anything. You know, just in the moment.
What?
You know what?
Go
I
ahead.
just read this morning in Matthew, and it popped right out exactly what you just said, Kim. Don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow brings its own worries. Today's troubles are enough for today.
Yep.
Yes.
Stay in the present moment. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and for me, I've been saying lately, I feel like God's saying straight ahead, eyes up and straight ahead, not to the left of the past, not to the right of the future, but straight ahead. And to your point, Kim, in that moment, to be in that moment and to hear you say that you know that God's been orchestrating all of this. You were married to this dynamo love of your life who was also a skydiver. You're a mama and a grandmother. Like, he has been at the helm of your life. And quite frankly, you're killing it. You checked a lot of boxes.
Now I'm a great grandmother too.
Congratulations. Wow. Just think of the legacy these kids are going to have. They'll be like, that's my gram. That's my gram. Look at her. Look at her go. There she goes again.
I can hear him now. My grandma's a BA.
Pastor Charles, do you have your BA coffee mug today by any chance?
No, I don't.
No.
I don't.
Well, we've said it before. You know why we've said it? Because we're not really, we don't make a habit of using curse words. But when Kim's own daughter posts this. My badass mom made her 800th jump today. I think it's okay. I think if the shoe fits, if the badass shoe fits, Kim better wear it.
That's the current explanation for somebody that's on the move and on the go and doing things, I think.
Then that explains you to a T.
Living in the moment.
Absolutely.
Living in the moment. So I'm going to roll the rest of this video now, speaking of which, just to take in, if we can even begin to imagine, I'm sure it doesn't do us justice, but to see what Kim Emmons Knor has done now 836 times. And describe for us again, when all of these people come around you in the air, what was that? That was girl power. But tell me again real quick and set it up for us before we roll it. Where was it? What was it?
That was, and we had a weekend that was called Sisters in Skydiving. So we called it a SIS Boogie. And we got the girls from all over that joined together. And we just had a lot of fun, and we had a lot of activities going on here at West Tennessee Skydiving. And that's right outside of Memphis. And it was really, really great. And that was the jump when we all got together. And as many people as were, I have to say, able to do that skill level to come in on a tandem. You have to be not just a new jumper, but somebody experienced that can come in on a tandem, because we really can't move around very much. And they did.
Fascinating to me how they do move to you. It's like air swimming. Let's play it. I'm gonna play it real quick here, Rich. Okay, here we go.
We just jumped out airplane! Just did 810. This is 810. We did it! Today! Whoa! Girls roll! Yay! Boys roll! All right, beautiful. Woohoo!
Oh man.
Why does that bring me so much joy?
Can we just talk about the amazing skill and talent here, Kim? Because for me, to jump out of a plane would be to have no words coming out of my mouth, maybe lots of noises and excitement, but for you to be able to explain what you were doing in the process of fall, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it takes some experience, but I think the big thing that we learned way back when I started was all about the parachute. Everything was about the parachute, because we didn't know how to fly in the sky that well. And so we started watching a lot of birds and trying things out. And how did the birds do that? You know, I remember one of the old jumpers, Lloyd Bryden, he said he used to lay and watch how they position their body to dive down to get food or something like that, or to go up, or, you know, different things. So, yeah, little by little, we learned how to do that. And gosh, you know, I think right now, the skills that we've accomplished and that the pioneer here has accomplished, I said, oh my gosh, Jeannie has done everything in the sport you can think of. And she's just incredible. You know, she's the top of the queen of the sport, I would say.
But the queen of the sport who is doing this to you, right?
I was thinking that. You're really the queen. Come on.
And both of you are up there going, let them eat cake.
You know, I kept thinking back to my single days and being upset that I couldn't find someone, you know, at the time. And my mom would say, well, women aren't just going to fall out of the sky, Rich. You have to go out and do something. And now I'm going to tell her she lies.
You just have to be in the right place. If you can keep up with where in the world is Kim Emmons Knor to stand under. Where are you right now, you guys?
We're still in
Tennessee.
Okay. And then on to the Carolinas.
And yeah, on to the Carolinas Monday, I'll be going on. So
But first,
yeah.
Kim has a competition this weekend. She's going to be going for her first gold medal in 62 years.
That's right.
I think I buried the lead on this. Tell us about that.
So my husband and I own a competition company. It's called the United States Canopy Piloting Association. And we have different levels of competition. And one of them is sport accuracy, which is very similar to what Kim competed in the World Championships 62 years ago.
Wow.
So Kim and her tandem instructor are going to go and compete for the gold medal this weekend, tomorrow, actually.
Wow.
So we're very excited to see her bring home that gold.
Yeah.
You should have seen, I could see Rich and Pastor Charles backstage when you were saying that, and they were both like I could see their uvulas. Like amazed. This is crazy good stuff. Like off the charts stuff.
Yeah, it is.
They have circles that they've painted in the ground out there. And so we have to hit that dead center circle, and we've been practicing a little bit. So I think we might be able to get the gold.
Correct. And
Well,
go ahead, please, Pastor Charles.
Rumor has it that, Kim, you're going to be placed in charge of the angels when you get up yonder, because of all of your flying experience.
She's going to be the choreographer. She'll be the choreographer.
That would be glorious.
So I'm going to need you over here. You're going over here. I love it.
I can't even imagine if Kim had wings. Yeah, you'd just be flying all over the place.
Oh yeah, for sure. The sky's my favorite place to be.
Well, and let's point out how you do get around on the ground, Kim. You don't have you're not taking Ubers or a train. Tell everyone again, remind them at 86 years young. Shoot, I wish I still had that picture in here. Tell them how you get around from place to place all over the country.
Yeah, I have a little motorhome that's 21 feet. It's just small. And I drive across the country, state to state to state. I go from San Diego to Maine and back and forth. And I just go to drop zones and jump and have a good time. And everything I need is in my little motorhome. So I do about 23,000 miles a year.
And the people are clamoring, come here next, come here next. You always have a place to stay. You always have a home. You always have a place in these people's hearts. Like, I can't even fathom, in the video we just saw, you said you did 810 jumps. Let's just make sure to remind people that it changes daily, hourly sometimes with you, that you're up to 836 jumps on your way to 1,000. And I want to remind people that you can, if you're listening to this in podcast mode, in those sections where all you hear is air blowing, you can go to our YouTube page to see the video of these amazing jumps that she's doing. And that's the Good Stuff Family with Dawn Kendrick. But when you this is my text, you guys, from Kim on Sunday. We had the perfect Sunday, blue skies all day long. We did an all-girl jump. It was everybody coming in, trying to hook up and hold hands. That's what we saw earlier. And with an arc with me in the middle and my tan, who's also a woman, right? That tandem jump you did, correct, Kim, was with a woman? Yep.
Yes.
And everybody got in to join hands. One girl was so close to getting in. We had to wave everyone off because it was, you every second counts. You didn't, right? I mean, it's so exciting. Now, as soon as I get pictures, I'm going to send them to you. But when we're finished jumping later in the afternoon, 2 balloons came. Wait, I think I have that picture. 2 balloons came. I mean, who? This is like all in a day's work for her. Rich, will you check and see if you can see that big balloon over there? I may not have ingested it. But so what happened there, Kim? These balloons come, what you were help blowing them up. Some people jumped off, right?
That's right. Yeah. The fellow that does a lot of our photography here was on that ride up, and he's in the picture with me on one of them. But yeah, we went over there and inflated the balloons, was really funny. They use a big, huge fan, first of all, to get them going. And then once the balloon is what, about 80% inflated,
Mhm.
and then they turn the burners on and inflate it up until there's enough to start lifting them off. It is the coolest thing.
Wow. And this picture now here, this was you. Tell me again, Jeannie, what are we looking at from this view? How cool is this?
So I jump a 71 square foot canopy, and Kim is on a 330 square foot canopy with her tandem master. And we did a jump together. It was so much fun. I came up and I flew next to her, and I went below her. I went above her, and we were chatting under canopy, waving. Yeah, it was super fun. But yeah, it's impressive to have such a small canopy flying with such a big parachute.
So cool to see.
Yeah, her canopy is sort of like a bed sheet. I don't know that it's much larger than a bed sheet.
Wow. And if I keep looking at these texts again, on Wednesday, she said, I just came down from 8:28. Here we are on Friday, and she's at 8:36. This is ridiculous.
It's really inspiring. Honestly, doing a few skydives a day, the gear is heavy. You know, when I'm training, 7-8 jumps a day is a lot, and I'm watching Kim just crush these jumps, and there's no excuses for me, right? I'm training for the comp this weekend too, and I'm like, man, if she's doing 7 jumps a day, I need to keep up.
I just keep my heart on all day long, and just it's 8 pounds 3 ounces, and so I just leave it on and keep it ready. So if they say, "Come on, we're going to go up now," I'm ready.
But that's a lot of weight to have on all day long.
It is.
But, there's an expression, and I think it goes across all of the military branches. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
That's correct. Yes.
I love that.
Again, a great analogy for life, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And one of the, oh, go ahead.
Excuse me. We had a thing. I was a Girl Scout leader for years and years and years. And I was a senior scout myself. So there is a little saying that says, let's see, what is it? Oh, it just blew out of my mind. Here it is. Be prepared. That's the Girl Scout marching song. Be prepared. Yeah. And to be prepared for life, that's the way to be. And that way you're not disappointed with anything.
That's it. And it's how much of it is about gratitude, Kim, that you have breath in your lungs and everything works. How much of it for you is about gratitude?
100%. Every day I wake up and say, thank you, God. And I woke up today and it was pouring rain again. And I said, thank you. You know, somebody needs this rain. And it's just good. It's a good sound. And how many times have you been in the summertime and there's a big rain and it's just saying, wow, it's so cozy here in the house, you know.
You're speaking our language. We say we love the rain. We love the rain. A friend of ours was blind and his mom had passed away. And Chappelle Letman said he feels like when it rains, it's his mom reaching down from heaven and touching his face.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love that.
So
yeah.
It's a rainy day in St. Louis today. I intentionally go for walks in the rain on purpose. So how many other people listening need that? Whether it's physical rain you're up against today, where you're tempted to be like, ugh, the rain, or, let literal rain, or if it's figurative rain in our hearts and in our minds, how about we just flip the script and say, all right, what if it's a little bit of heaven on earth, and to be grateful even for that. That's kind of how we see it.
When the blue sky comes, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Kim.
I was going to say, when the blue sky comes right after the rain, you really appreciate it, especially skydivers do.
I was just going to say, Kim is pushing me into that pastoral role. I think of the rain too, because throughout the scriptures talks about the living waters and Jesus providing living waters for us. And what is rain but living water coming down from the heavenlies? And so I love walking in the rain because it's like a cleansing, it's a purging, it's a liberation and everything. And it's just it's not what happens to us, it's how we choose to respond to it, how we choose to frame it and look at it and appreciate it. And it goes back to what you were saying, Kim, with the just the gratitude.
That's it.
Gratitude for every hour of every day. I mean, just look what's happening in my retirement years. It's just amazing to me. It's a dream. I keep saying, don't wake me up, please.
I mean, she's
We
full
should have
of-
had. Go ahead, Kim. Go ahead, Dawn. I'm sorry.
Say she's just full of great little what we would call sound bites for life. Yeah. So what were you going to say, Pastor Charles?
Don't it's gone.
Right.
Oh no! What I was going to say was we should. Kim's theme song needs to be from Earth, Wind, and Fire. Keep your head to the sky. Here she comes.
I love it. Okay, well, I'm keeping an eye on the time. Again, we never want to let you go. And now we have double dose of dynamo. Jeannie Bartholomew again. Thank you so much for joining us. But I thought there are two people I want to honor today. So I'm starting. Kim doesn't even know the Kim Emmons Knor Award for badassery. and today, my friend Lapper, look at this guy again. Some people like Kim, and like Jeannie, you can almost see their souls by just their demeanor and their face. Check out my friend Lapper here, Mark. Wow. We call him Lapper because he has a long Polish name that starts with Lapper and goes on for 5,000 consonants. But Lapper, this is Mark Lapper. What a good stuff dude to the bone, the good stuff that he does and volunteering for people all under the radar, things showing up at people's widows' homes and doing work for them. And I mean, like I couldn't even, and he doesn't want any credit for it. Half of the stuff we don't even know what he's doing. Well, guess what? Today he does his last cancer treatment today. Mark Lapper, my first award for the Kim Emmons Knor Badassery Award goes to our awesome friend Lapper. Here he wrote a little summary of what he's been through. He had his prostate removed in May of 2019 after a 13 sample biopsy. The cancer was all in the left half of the prostate, cancer-free until 2021 when the PSA started to rise. So in 2021, he received 35 radiation treatments over 7 weeks. Everything was good until the middle of 2024 when the PSA began creeping up again. So in March, the PSA was 1.1 and a PET scan was ordered. My pelvic area was clear, but a small lymph node lit up in my right sternum. After a biopsy, they determined it was a reoccurrence of prostate cancer, classified as stage 4. They determined 5 radiation treatments and hormone therapy would take care of the cancer. The good news is it's only in one area. The next checkup is July 9th, but here, the last 5 words of his summary, ready? Will ring the bell on Friday. What is today? Friday.
Wow.
Today.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's fantastic.
Wow.
It's hard to get through that.
Wow.
What do you want to say to him, Kim? Since it is your award that you didn't know you were giving, what would you say to him?
Let's say, praise God for saving you and healing you. That is just amazing. And for you to keep up the fight, be positive and hang in there. That's what you're getting rewarded for. Amazing.
The world needs more lappers.
Yeah.
We need him. And see how it says, his shirt says that I fix stuff. And he does it for people who need it most. You want to talk, we talked about Kim being in charge of the angels when she gets to heaven. Like he is the angel on earth for a lot of people. He just is. And we all can be. We can all choose that. If we're going through anything less than that, we can show up to see the good for others and be the good for them. That's what we learn from him. So huge shout out to him. And one more. Oh, go ahead, please. No.
I was just going to say he's imitating Jesus. He's imitating Jesus. He fixed stuff.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yes!
that's right.
It's so good. I'm telling you, every time Pastor Charles opens his mouth, it's like these nuggets. It's true. Like, not just, of course, a man in the word, but a man who's able to make it practical for us. Don't you think, you guys?
Yes,
Absolutely.
exactly.
100%.
So grateful for you. And you too, Rich. Like, I've been inspired by these two men more than I can ever imagine. And so keep your eyes open, you guys, for the people who God's placing in your path, right in your path, that are going to uplift, encourage, and inspire you. And then I also say, remember that you can do the same. You can do the same. So our last Kim Emmons Knor Award for badassery, it goes to a woman who's probably never said that word in her whole life. She took us to Vacation Bible School in Florissant, Missouri when we were growing up. Her name is Diane Sikora. We call her Mrs. Sikora. I'm scanning for the pictures. I know I have them. One moment, please. She turns 80 years old today. So she's a whippersnapper, Kim, actually, in your world, right?
Exactly.
She is. Let's see. I'm going to find her. Hold on. They're so small. This is a little suspense we're building. It's a tease, like we call it. Rich, do you see them over there in the queue, Mrs. Sikora? There should be 3 of them with her daughter. Oh, come on. I know they're. Here we go. I got it. Okay.
There you go. I was like, to use your line, I was going to say, 1 moment, please.
Well, yeah, 1 moment, please. All right. This is Mrs. Sikora on the right. That's her daughter, Chris, who has been my forever since I can ever remember. She grew up down the street from me. My sister friend, and as adults, my sister friend in faith. These two are rooted. Like I said, they would drag Chad and I. At first, we thought, oh no, Bible school. And then we loved it every summer. VBS, Vacation Bible School. So she turns 80 years young today. She can take a page from your book, Kim, in continuing to see the good in others and be the good for them. That's what she was for us. Yeah. And so when I asked Chris if she would write a little something about her mama. I'm going to find it here. Have you guys had people in your lives that are like Miss Sikora, any of you?
I definitely have. A couple of times those have come through like that. And they're just, you listen to the truth that touches your heart. And that sounds like exactly what she's doing. That's what God put her here to do. And I would just want to wish her a happy birthday today, too.
Yes. Yeah. And here she, let's see. I remember, who remembers Speed Racer? Do you remember that cartoon?
Here comes Speed Racer.
That's it. We would go.
It's not a show unless Pastor Charles sings at least once. I live for that.
We can't end until right. I remember walking up. We walked everywhere when we were kids. We were outside all day, and we'd walk up to their house and watch Speed Racer, and her mom made these to die for. Still have never had one as good. Peanut butter sandwiches, peanut butter jelly, simple. But I remember this stuff from my youth, and you could have 2 if you wanted to, and they were yummy. And we'd sit down there. They had a great backyard. We put on a talent show. I should have queued that video up. That's hilarious. Of us dancing to Grease. Remember how Grease and Saturday Night Fever were like so? Yeah, Chris did that. Hopelessly devoted to you. Remember that song? Chris had her little hair and rollers. What are we, like 10? It was hilarious. But these are just great memories. And Chris wrote today a tribute to her mama. My mom is a ray of sunshine to everyone she meets. Ever the optimist, she always finds the positive in any situation. She lives out the phrase, love God and love people. There it is. Not just reflecting him, but as Pastor Charles would say, radiating him. That is Mrs. Diane Sikora. Chris said, I'm so proud to be your daughter. Have a spectacular 80th birthday. I love you, Mom.
Oh, so, I love that. She's got to be my soulmate.
Oh, isn't that the good stuff? There's so much. We just have to open our eyes to see it.
Oh, it's there. Yeah.
It is. It's there. So, Kim, anything else you want to add as we wrap this up?
No, other than the fact I love being on this program because everything's so positive and so exciting, and it just makes you want to live more life and put more into your life each day. So, and I'm so excited that I have Jeannie here with me. This is like, the best thing. When you called last night and then said, do you have anybody that wants to go? And I said, well, I don't know. And then I thought, oh, Jeannie.
We've had a lot of fun together the last couple days.
We have, definitely. Yeah. So
It becomes like family. I felt your spirit through the phone, Jeannie. Honestly, I felt it. You had all this energy. You guys said, look at everything you've been doing these last few days. And I was already in bed. That's another thing. Like my childhood bedtime, I'm like, this is ridiculous. We can't be making a habit of this. But nonetheless, here you called and I thought, praise God. What a great bonus. What a great bonus to this podcast, how he shows up and he weaves. We say God weaves no item work. I believe it because I've seen it. You've seen it. We've all seen it. We've all seen it. So if you're listening, do you be encouraged by that? We hope that you're encouraged that God is weaving and he's working. We know it. We know it to be true. And in fact, an old friend just popped up here in the comments. This is my friend who was the producer at Channel 19 when I moved to Cleveland 25 years ago or whatever. Jody, she said, I remember when you skydived for a story and your dad said, what's wrong with the plane? Good memory. Well, it was way out in the sticks and we didn't, cell phones were terrible back then, right?
Yeah.
So we jumped, I jumped because a World War II veteran friend of mine, Howard Greenberg and Selma Greenberg, they wanted to jump for the anniversary of Normandy. And the U.S. government said, no. I mean, he was an octogenarian. He was in his 80s. So he said, come on out. I'll show you how we do it at a tandem place. And he didn't jump tandem. He jumped on his own. And then the instructor said, you know how you could experience that, Dawn? Why don't you do it? And I said, okay. What was I thinking? Like I got booed down off the high dive when I was little because I get up there and was afraid to jump, but did it. But I called my dad at work and I said, listen, Dad, terrible reception. I'm about to jump out of a plane with this Irish guy named Finn. And there's a pause and he goes, the plane with the fin? No, I'm about to jump out of a plane. Another pause. What's wrong with the plane? Funny. Most people subscribe to that. I'll jump out when there's something wrong with the plane. Not Kim Emmons Knor. 836 times she has jumped out of perfectly good planes.
There's no such thing as a perfectly good airplane.
That's one thing that, yeah.
So
No such thing is, it's like a car. There's no such thing as a perfectly good car.
Mm-hmm.
It's always something you have to fix.
well, and you're ready. You're ready. I look at that old parachute from the 50s that used to jump in. That's scary. It's old, right? Compared to what you have now.
I think it was scary then, and I don't now. Actually, the things that Jeannie jumps that go 100 miles an hour across the ground, and I said, I can't do that. But those old ones, they only go about 12 or 15 miles an hour.
Yep.
So then you just have to look for where you're going to land.
Well, I do have to say, this is Jeannie, obviously, like a different generation, but still every much as badass as you are, if we could say it truly. And now that we've met her, not just in the physical things that she does in setting records, breaking records, but in her mojo, her good stuff, God stuff type mojo that is going to inspire people who may never, ever jump out of a plane, but who hopefully are learning by both of your examples. That's it. That's all we can ask. I'll have what Kim Emmons Knor and Jeannie Bartholomew are having. Agreed, Rich, Pastor Charles?
Amen.
Yeah, I was going to say, I pulled a good Knor nugget today out of this episode, and that was when you're talking about carrying that weight. And I'm a big person on flipping the script, and so I'm going to start looking at life as I'm thankful that I have weight to carry.
Amen. Okay.
Yeah.
A Knor nugget. Now we have to, next week, we're going to give a Knor nugget award. Here, he was gonna get the Knor nugget.
What's the new Knor nugget?
Write that down. That's good. Oh my
That's
God.
good.
Oh, I love you all so much. Just thank you. Thank you so much. I hate to always end, but yes, thank you. And be safe. Be safe. I know you've got a lot of crazy things that you're getting ready to do and break some more records. So we'll talk to you on the flip side of recreating, right? Going for another gold.
Yes. Yeah, we'll see if we can get that done tomorrow.
That's it. That's it.
I love it.
All right, guys, you know how we end each of these. It's not hard to do. It's really not. Of all the things we don't have control over, this much we can do. We can see the good in others and be the good for them. We all join me when we say, on your mark, get set, let's go.
Let's go.
Oh.
Yes.
Sometimes it's good to just dance.
You've been listening to Don Kendrick's The Good Stuff Family Podcast. If you found inspiration here, would you click subscribe, follow, share as we grow our Good Stuff family tree? Check out thegoodstufffamily.com for links to all our social media platforms and for how you or your business could sponsor a story. The Good Stuff Family, reaching and touching hearts around the world by weaving families together one story at a time. On your mark, get set, let's go.
Well, I got a suggestion. Sometimes it's good to just dance. Come along